Welcome guys! Today I have a pleasure of presenting to you another material about the Combat Commander, a wonderful game series by late Chad Jensen, which was published by GMT Games. Just a reminder, in 2006 we got the first game in the series, Combat Commander Europe. 2007 we got this expansion, Combat Commander Mediterranean, and in 2008 we got Combat Commander Pacific. All three games were wonderful, are wonderful, and get many reprints from the GMT. Here you can see 2013 reprint for this game. And what I'm going to do is to show you the beautiful components, but also explain and overview a bit them. I'm actually creating series of such videos. Today we'll focus on the first biggest expansion to the Combat Commander Europe, so Mediterranean Front. This game is published in a nice sturdy big box, as you can see. At the back you will have information as always about solitary suitability, complexity, what are the components. You can see three armies or the units depicting three potential armies, because this will be the Italians and the Axis minors. This will be French and Allied minors, and this will be British, but the British who were fighting mainly in Europe. You remember in Pacific we have colonial Commonwealth forces. So it's not only British, it will be also Anzac and Canadian forces. We'll have new maps, very nice European theater of operation maps, and also some new twists to the rules. Let us see what we are getting inside. Let me just open it. First and foremost, we are getting the slightly updated rulebook. You can see version 1.1 from the initial version. And the first thing which you will notice, and which I would like to call out, is the rulebook is matte. It's not shiny, it's not glossy. So when you read it during the evening with the artificial light, your eyes will not hurt. This is very similar to the Combat Commander Europe. There are some changes. You can see items in blue text indicate functional changes from the first edition of this rulebook. It's more like a change to the main rulebook, not only connected with the Mediterranean. This is pretty much compatible with the main game, and actually in order to play fully this game you would need Combat Commander Europe. A lot of scenarios assumes the participation of Russians or Germans, and for these purposes you would need, of course, the base game. The rulebook is not much different from the European. It's nicely numbered. We have sections, subsections. The rules are very nicely cross-referenced. And guys, this is one of the best rule books I was using. Really, when I had a question, 99.9% I was able to find it in the rulebook without BGG or other sources of information. So as you can see, not much change from the base version of the game, just some additions. The playbook will be different. Here we'll have a huge change. First of all, we'll have, of course, design and development notes, and especially which will explain how we'll be playing French and Allied minors and how we will be playing the Italians and Axis minors. We'll have some twists. Remember, each faction is differentiated by various factors, by the unit, by the fate deck, by the discard ability, and so on. So here we have all the description of the design notes, also some combat school examples, design your own point values, and then scenario design hints. I like that they also allow you to design scenarios. Here is a random scenario generator. As you can see, it uses France, Russia, America, British. So this is nicely showing all the factions you can fight with. Of course, Germany and Italy here, as an opponent. What else we have in the playbook? Of course, we have scenarios, and their numbering continues from the base game, so the Combat Commander Europe. In Combat Commander Europe you have 12 scenarios, now we start from the 13th scenario. And as you shall see, we will have various let's say forces here on both sides. This is a very small scenario, like 6 units on the German side. So this is Anzac forces versus German forces. It's Kret. Then we have the scenario in Poland, Polish forces versus German forces. Then you would have Russian versus Romania. Not a thing which often happens, but it was happening, especially on the Eastern Front. Then you would have Blitzkrieg checked, so this is German versus French, German versus Canadians, Greek Germans, Yugoslav versus German forces, new maps, as you can see. Finnish forces versus Russian forces. It's actually during the attack, the Russian attack on Finland. Italian versus Americans, so this is Sicily. We have also British and Germans in February 1945, so it's pretty late in the war. Then we have Italian and British, of course, in Egypt. And the last but not least, pretty large scenario will be in 1940, Indian forces versus Italian forces. What we are getting also here is very interesting manifests. You have manifest of the units, how many, quantity, and so on. And it actually encompasses both games, Europe and Mediterranean. You have also the card manifest for all 6 factions we have now. This is America, Britain and Commonwealth, France and Allied Minors, Germany, Italy and Axis Minors, and Russia. So you have very nice card manifest. So I can tell you that the playbook is bringing a lot of interesting stuff and information. Then we will have a traditional player race. By traditional, I mean traditional for the Combat Commander. Here we'll have 3 tables from which we'll be getting the reinforcements. We usually roll for reinforcements, and we have a roll of a die, and the roll of a die is drawing the card, of course, here. And when we cross-check the year we are in, and we can get, the proper units from there. We have even the US, I see, US MG to be taken. On the other side, I believe there are orders of battle which are more used for the random scenario generator. You have point values, initiative orders. You pay for this, and thanks to that you evaluate simply the cost of your unit, and then the other side can, this is costing the victory points, the other side can add some stuff to this to compensate. Then we will have fate decks. There are 3 fate decks. Let me open them. I will start from the minor friends and the minor allies. So let's see, what do we have here? Okay, these are blue ones. Remember, we have always very nice pictures. So we have recover, route, move, of course, command confusion, artillery requests, advance, fire, all of those cards, yeah. We should have also in the manifest clear differentiation between factions, for example, how many fires you have, how many moves you have. For example, in Pacific Theater you would have a lot of advances and melee cards for the Japanese units. Here, for example, for the British you will have action, I believe, marksmanship, which will be adding you will be able to fire less but more accurately, yeah. Route, again, very nice pictures or photos added here to represent it. Hidden entrenchments, pile box, command confusion, one of the worst cards, of course, which takes, which simply occupies your hand. Yeah, so these are the cards. Oh, marksmanship, I told you, +2. Command confusion, but with marksmanship it could be really nicely used, very nice. A lot of additions to the British fire. And now the Italians, and plus of course Axis minors like Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, all those factions which were fighting alongside Hitler for a long time, some of them till the end, some of them not. So this will be like greenish, yeah, let's say greenish color. And yeah, we also have nice pictures. Recovery route, wow, this is tough picture. Move in the snow, evidently. Command confusion, of course. Artillery request, command confusion even more. Advance, this is a very nice picture of advance. Fire with some ambushes, demolition, smoke grenades, fire with command confusion, concealment, a lot of command confusion as an action, unfortunately for the Italians. And no marksmanship, they do not have better people firing. Here we have additional cards. This will be initiative and I believe some references. So yeah, we have initiative, objective cheats, yeah, orders, how many orders each side has. This will be slightly different. Artillery denied 3, 2, 3. And on the other side we would have the actions, yeah. They have similar number of ambushes, but for example, marksmanship times 6, marksmanship times 0, for example, marksmanship times 0. So these are the differences between the decks, and they really make a difference. You might think at the beginning, at the onset of your play, okay, this is all similar. No, it is not. We shall look now at the counters. Or maybe let me start with this. So we have here the counters for the factions. Unfortunately, this is a bit misprinted, as you can see here. So we will most probably need to ask for some replacements. These are the Italian or Axis minor leaders. They have 6, 7, 8, 9, so not the highest, let's say, morale. And if you flip, it's getting much better. Yeah, it's getting better. So they are 7, 6, 8. So I believe, yeah, on the other hand, here you would have some units which are easier to crush after they are broken, and some units which are not, because they have 8 on this side. We will have here also some of the teams stats. This will be for the objectives. Yeah. So all this stuff. Now let's look at the British and the French units. 6, 7, 9 also. Oh, 110. Not the highest, but they are getting much better morale once broken. For the British, I believe we might have some decent 9, 8, 6 for the leaders, and they are growing in morale. See, on this, addition to this, we have airborne, engineers, territorial defense, and so on. These small things like firepower, move, range, those things are actually making the difference in this game to a large extent. Control markers, actually a lot of control markers, they are double-sided. There's a lot of them because we need to have a sets, for the British, for the French, for additional for Russians and Americans, evidently. These are the weapons. Here are Molotov cocktails, they are in yellow, that's interesting. It's probably addition to the Russians. This would be the Italians, the French, and the British ones. Now, the maps. We will have like 12 additional maps, and the maps for Combat Commander are one of my favorite ones. They are beautiful. They have large hexes, so it's easy to keep all the units. They clearly show you which terrain it is there, because they have those dots. It's really easy to get the line of sight, because you just connect the dots and see whether you cross anything. They are very, very well prepared, and I'm really liking playing on them. I will have a lot, because these are double-sided, so we will have like, I believe, 6 double-sided, which will create like 12 scenarios. Yeah, we have 6 double-sided maps, and then they can be, of course, used in various, fan-made scenarios and stuff like this. On top of this, we are getting inside also the tray for the counters. Yeah, the tray will be very helpful because there is a lot of those counters. So definitely useful thing. Okay guys, I will not be going into many more details because I believe that's enough for today. As I said, I'm continuing my series of materials with Combat Commander. Today we were focusing on the first large expansion to the Combat Commander Europe, namely Mediterranean. Of course, we are getting also a lot of battle packs, which are packs of the maps, scenarios for this game, and there is plenty of them. Today it was more like unboxing, showing what's in the box, overview, explanation. I believe we might have also some additional materials which will be presenting the game further. That's all for today. If you like this video, do not hesitate, give a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content like this, kindly please subscribe. That's all what I prepared for this moment regarding Mediterranean. Thank you for being with me, and thank you very much for watching. Bye.